This is part 2. I'm talking about the impact of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz on European harvest and energy prices. The first video, which is on the page, tells you all about the disastrous consequences that we now face because of Donald Trump. This video tells you what we could do about that. Europe needs to go green. The only rational response to this crisis is to exit the fossil fuel system as fast as physically possible. Firstly, the money to do a green transition exists and is already being spent on the wrong thing. In the first 10 days of this Iran war, European taxpayers have already paid an extra €3 billion in fossil fuel imports. That is raw extraction. Money leaving European economies and going straight into the pockets of LNG traders, Gulf states, and the exact American war hawks that caused the war in the first place. Weird! So we are bleeding the money anyway, yet nothing is getting built, no capacity is being created. The money is just gone to criminals. Between September 2021 and June 2023, the last energy shock, EU governments spent €651 billion shielding citizens and business from the true cost of fossil fuels. That money also built nothing. Can you imagine what Europe would look like now if in that 3-year period they had spent €651 billion on renewable energy? Instead, we are opting to continue subsidizing a system that is causing the crisis in the first place. The Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis has calculated the $750 billion that the EU has now agreed to spend on US energy imports over the next 3 years, oil, gas and LNG, could instead have expanded Europe's installed solar and wind capacity by 90%. The same money, the same timescale, two completely different outcomes. Instead, Europe's political class keeps choosing to buy fuel from a country whose president is currently threatening to bomb Iran's power grid, from Truth Social. Beyond Fossil Fuels has done an analysis. Switching to green energy would save European consumers €300 billion a year by 2030. Per year. Permanently. Nobody can close the Strait of Hormuz against the wind. Every €1 billion spent on LNG infrastructure is €1 billion spent saving the system that is causing the vulnerability. Every €1 billion spent on heat pumps, insulation, offshore wind, battery storage and grid interconnection is €1 billion spent on eliminating the problem. The petrodollar system is a hostage situation. The dollar only has value because people around the world are forced to trade oil in it. So Europe, who trades in euro, still buys its oil in dollar. And the American Federal Reserve is underwritten by that demand. If Europe stops buying oil and gas from Gulf states, then the demand signal that underwrites the dollar collapses. And so too does the US military's role as Gulf guarantor. 3 days ago, Iran proposed paying for energy in euros. Europe's answer has so far been silent. Europeans need to push their politicians on this. Take the fucking deal. Why the fuck wouldn't you take the deal? They are choosing to uphold that special arrangement and choose alliance with the military-industrial complex even when it is going to cause famine in their countries. That's insane. All Europe has to do is redirect the money that it has earmarked for LNG imports into domestic generation. That provides energy sovereignty and security for the next generation of Europeans. Instead, Europe is opting to continue to support the American military misadventure in the Gulf. Europe is voluntarily declining permanent strategic independence. If you cannot feed yourself or your family consistently in 12 months' time, if you cannot keep the heating on in your home, understand that this is a political choice. It's not inevitable. Somebody's choosing this. You need to write to your MP immediately. I'm going to put a toolkit into the Discord of exactly what you can say to them. European gas prices are already up 70% since the 28th of February. Any politician hesitating to make this deal with Iran, weighing up and considering whether they will let Europeans starve next year, is showing you their true colours. They are a compromised politician. They work on behalf of AIPAC, not you. This is history. This is the most important fork in the road that Europe has ever faced. This might be the most important email that you ever send. If you were going to show up at a politician's office, now is the time to do it. Because if your politicians in this moment continue to back the United States war machine, do not make a deal with Iran, do not stabilize fuel prices, and do not get nitrogen into the ground on time, I will remind those politicians directly what happens historically when people are left with nothing to lose. Iran is not blocking European energy and food. European governments are choosing to protect their relationship with Washington rather than protect their own citizens.